realize, oh snap, time is way more valuable than money. Timing is the boss. Timing is everything. The spoiler alert, they want to break it to you here. There's an end to this. We just don't know. You know that there is an end, you just don't know the date. When would now be a good time to start going for it? One of my favorite comedians is a guy named Eckhart Tolle. Now, when people hear me say this, they say, what do you mean? He's not a comedian, he's a spiritual master, he's a spiritual author. Okay, the kind of guy that just speaks, and then people transcribe what he says in books, and then people buy the books, and he shows up in Montreal here, and there's a full room of people, no marketing, nothing, just people just show up to hear him talk, where you got people with huge marketing machines, people you would know, affiliates, marketing machines, tracking, ads, radio, funnels, the whole 9 yards. They don't even have half the people that show up for this guy. We're just sitting there, relaxing, talking really, really, really slow, and no marketing at all. Funny comedian, Eckhart Tolle is one of my, well, the only joke I heard him say. This guy does not wear a watch. He's like me. I don't have a watch. I have a Jesus bracelet, no watch, and I don't have a cell phone. We're in 2024 right now. I left my phone in 2012. I unplugged the thing, put it in the bag, never opened it since. I don't like being bothered. I like being focused when I work. So anyway, this Eckhart Tolle, he's on stage, he's speaking really, really softly and really slow, and it's like, yada, 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 power of now. Oh, let me check if it's still now. No watch. He goes, yeah, it's still now. We got to remember this once in a while. When are we right now? We got to remember when we are, where we are, who we are, what we are, and if you want to get jacked up, why you are. When are we? Like, think about yesterday. Yesterday, you had plans for tomorrow. As you were planning those plans, you really had the feeling of, well, yesterday was now. Like, yesterday is now. This is the feeling of now, and tomorrow is so you wake up, you're tomorrow, but it's really now. It's the feeling of now, but yesterday is the past, but you can never get to the future. So if you keep running around in circles like, when I'll be ready, I'll write the book. When I'll this, then I'll. It's called the when-then fallacy. For most things you want to do, you want to write the damn book, you want to start the business, you want to create the product, you want to call the girl, you want to call the guy, you want to do something. But then there's a but, or a few buts, and another pretty kind of buts, like ugly buts in the way, like, ugh. You got to learn internal tools to remove the buts. So that at one point or another, you have to flip it so that the time is now, because the thing you're waiting for in the future never gets. It's almost as if you have like a little bar here that you take your objective and you put it there. It's like on a bar. You can see it. Oh, it's at arm's reach. I can see it. Then when you get to the future, well, if the bar is still there, you never get to the damn thing. That's why you've been 6 seconds away from success for the past 15 years. I know. It's painful. At one point, you got to step into the power of now. The when-then fallacy has to be flipped. At one point, you have to flip this. Swami Vivekananda, one of the best speakers of all time. I'll speak to you about him on this channel today. This guy had the best hook of all time. He did a talk. I think he said 7 words. He got a 2-minute standing ovation. Awesome guy. He talks about the dash. You're born a certain date. For me, it's 1978. Okay, so you're born a certain date. So insert your date, probably 19 something, whatever your date is. That's your birth date. Then you know. Oh, you didn't know? Ugh. I hate to break it. I don't want to. The spoiler alert. They want to break it to you here. There's an end to this. We just don't know. You know that there is an end. You just don't know the date. Okay? Makes me think of a joke. Louis C.K. He said it's hard to be a good dad nowadays. Trying to be a good dad. Confront my daughter. Daughter comes home from school and the teacher says, Daddy, the teacher told us that the sun keeps on expanding And then at one point, it's going to burn the earth. As a dad, I want to comfort my daughter. I didn't know what to say, so I just, said what came to mind. Oh, don't worry about this, honey. By the time this happens, you and everybody will know will have been dead for a long time. Everybody I love is going to die. Okay, it's not funny. We're on the timer here. You're on the timer here. All you've got is that dash. That's all you got, baby. The dash. You know it's ending, you just don't know when. So as you're spinning your wheels with this when-then fallacy, with a stick in front of you dangling a carrot that keeps on going at the same time as you're going, when would now be a good time to start going for it? It ain't going to get any better than this. We all start life with as much time as we'll ever have, and it keeps, like, we have less and less time until there's a stopper. And this is where you are, somewhere on that scale. Now I teach people how to create six-figure days from the stage, so you need also, most people's income producing potential starts very little and then grows over time, and then at some point it kind of goes, bleh. You need to find a way to jump past that curve. And everybody's at a different layer, but at one time you realize, oh snap, time is way more valuable than money. So everybody's on a different scale, but at one point you start to realize, oh, so I gotta use some of my money to buy some of my time back, because this is finite. I just don't know when it's going to stop, but I know it's going to stop. I better need to start using my money to buy back some of my time, because this is finite. And just to give you an idea of how little time you have, picture this. Imagine that this is your dash. This is the length of your dash between your birth date and your death date. Now, statistically speaking, actuarial tables say men in modern societies around 78, 80 some years, women a bit longer. So most of us, including myself, have passed half of that. So let's go with half of an 80-year-old life or so. That's what you got left. Now, if that's the totality of what's left on the dash, and you know that the energy sometimes goes down for most people as time goes by, you want to do something as fast as possible here so that by the time the energy goes low and the income producing activities kind of tend to wean over time, this should light a fire under your bum. But on the totality of the length of what's left here on the dash, that's not 100% of your day. Because, you got to sleep, you got to get ready, you got to prepare, eat, and commute, and a bunch of stuff. That's at least a third of that. So what's a third of that? Let me give you, I don't know. Let's cut off a third of that thing. Take a few days off, a few vacations, a few breaks, and then leave the last few times to button in any spiritual work you need to be done before you meet your maker. If you want to make peace. My wish for you and everybody is just die in peace. I want you to die in peace. So we do as best as we can to live the dash of our life in accordance to universal principles, universal law, cosmic eternal time frames, so as to not screw whatever comes after this in order to make a few more bucks or a few more putts while we're here. A safe, full safe or fail safe, or maybe a good way or a wise way might be to use some of that time to grow into higher levels of self and energy and vibration for whatever comes after. But there's people that died and came back and tell us that this is not the be-all end-all. Okay? So if this is all the time you have left, you got to think about and ask yourself, when would now be a good time to start going for it? You know when it started, you just don't know when it's ending. I got a meeting starting soon, and I want to get into, I got 7 minutes. I don't know if we have time to this. But this is when we are. Because I wanted to go into why we are, where we are, what we are. That's another subject. Let's double click on when we are. So, some people think, most people think we are in 2024. But nowadays, right now, in this time, on this earth, as we're talking, there are tribes, there are people with other countries and other civilizations that have a different date on their calendar. Like, let's go ask a tree outside, what time is it? I mean, what time is it? It's now. You're on a planet spinning around a star. And every time it spins around, we call that a year, and every time the month spins around the earth, we call that a month, and then we gave a starting point at 0. Then there's the scientists that start with the Big Bang, they calculate like billions of years or whatever. But if you just go ask the sun, what time is it? Or Earth itself, what's the day? Is it Tuesday? Really? It's Tuesday today? So, the when you are, which is, by the way, the ultimate timing. Timing is the ultimate hack. In investing, timing is the boss. In music, which I was a music teacher for years, if you rely on anything other than timing, in music, you're host. In speaking to sell, timing is everything. In investing, timing is everything. In technology, timing is everything. You don't want to be the guy that buys 1,000 new horses and buggies the day Henry Ford invents the Model T. So timing is timing is timing is timing, but we're always now. So when you think to yourself, there's calendar dates, we have a meeting at 7 on Tuesday, of course we get it. But when you think secretly to yourself about what you're going to do with the dash you have, which is your life is literally a dash between two dates. Every year, we got, I don't know the word in English, we call him lila in French. There's this wonderful smell of a flower that blossom for like 2 weeks and then they're dead. Once a year, I go by and I smell these things. And I count the number of years I have left to live by the number of times I'll be smelling these things for 2 weeks. So if you've been putting something off, it's burning inside your chest, and you want to get out there and kick butt, take names, you want to do something, but you keep on putting it off. Remember that there's an end to this. And unless you got superhuman protocols of, biological energy regeneration, energy kind of goes down with age. So if there ever was a great time to get off the couch and do something, just ask yourself, when would now be a good time? And you can ask yourself that too. We're all guilty of this. When would now be a good time to get out there, kick butt, and take names? Ponder that. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff. If you didn't like it, you want to make sure nobody else ever sees this, just don't share it. And click the thumbs down button twice really hard so that YouTube knows to never show that to anybody else again. Thanks for watching. Godspeed.